So, welcome back to my channel. And so today we are talking about a very controversial topic, that is tech making us smarter or dumber? Well, this is a very controversial topic between the teens and the guardians. So it would not be a small opinion, rather a very big debate, and it will be also quite controversial. We are going to cover here about quantum computers and its application in the medical fields, as well as how tech is destroying the Chinese youth. So, well, I welcome you to my channel. My name is Arnav, and this is the first episode of Debating Nights. And so let's begin. Let's roll the intro.
রঙিন রঙিন এই জীবন মধু মধু প্রতিটি ক্ষণ রঙিন রঙিন এই জীবন মধু মধু প্রতিটি ক্ষণ ও বারে বারে করে যায় আলিঙ্গন আলিঙ্গন আলিঙ্গন
By the way, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, make sure you are subscribed to the channel for this kind of videos. And yeah, obviously like this video because it encourages me to make a second part for this, because I was never encouraged for this video. Okay, cool, fine. So make sure you have subscribed to the channel, turn on the notification bell, and press the like button. And yeah, also comment down that which part you love the most. So let's continue. Now actually it's a very age-old debate that by the way, it can be even more than a decade. We can find several instances for like the pros and cons for this thing, the tech that we're using today. So we'll start with the pros, because it will be unfair for your device that you are watching this video right now. Otherwise, yeah, your Google Assistant might get hurt. That I'm talking about cons first. So we will first start with pros. And yeah, by the way, I have removed all the unimpactful and useless points from this total case study, because it would be a fifth grader move if I have included those. And also I tried to keep this video as short as possible. So I hope it helps. So let's continue. Case study, the Apple Watch case study. You might have seen this ad a lot of times. Even though you cannot just buy it right now, but you have obviously seen this ad a lot of times in a YouTube advertisement fields. And yeah, I have got this ads for around it's just coming up and coming up. It's just only one ad is repeating in my YouTube recommendation right now, and that is this one, Apple Watch ad. Now you might be thinking, wow, what a marvel of the tech that we can now take our medical notes just from our wristwatch, and it's so small actually. But obviously you cannot just simply just appreciate that it's so small. We need to also appreciate that it's so accurate. Actually, being so small, it's kind of tricky to be so accurate, but still they managed to do that. So here's the source. Okay, so here's a small case study on this thing. The sources are given in the description, so you can check them out. And also shout out to the sources. This time shout out to the insider.com for the source. So according to the source, according to a 2019 study in the New Zealand Journal of Medicine, the Apple Watch can be accurate for detecting atrial fibrillation, or an irregular heartbeat, which we say in our normal terms. The study recruited over 400,000 participants over an 8-month period to investigate the watch's irregular heart rhythm modification during that period. If a person's Apple Watch, only Series 1 by the way, Series 2 and Series 3 were studied later, detected an abnormal heartbeat or rhythm, it sent out a medical grade electrocardiogram or ECG patches to determine if the Apple Watches fit correctly, like if they were accurately identified an issue. And yeah, that was a good study because now here participants began wearing the patches about 13 days after a notification for about 6 days. Of 450 people who returned the patches, atrial fibrillation was confirmed in 153 people, or you can say 34%. So you can say that the accuracy was somewhere about 34%, but yeah, that's kind of low. But compare that to like you are wearing a very small watch, just a bit, and also it was uncalibrated. It was good. It was good to see that yes, it actually gave a 34% accuracy, and it's all according to the data. If you want to check the data, you will go to the source of insider.com and check the data. So the study shows that there fairly good sensitivity for detecting abnormal arrhythmia, or you can say the like abnormal heartbeats, irregular heartbeats, says Martinez. It was more accurate in older patients than younger, and the accuracy for detecting atrial fibrillation or irregular heartbeats was about 40% for atrial fibrillation. So this has some promise, but further studies are needed to actually confirm this. So yeah, it was kind of awesome. It was kind of good that it is actually a marvel that this small thing can detect so accurately, so precisely. So here's another case study. So let's look at it. Okay. So here's another case study to look at. Quantum computers. So you might have heard a lot about quantum computers, and when you think about quantum computers, you always think about this guy. No, sorry, not this guy. This is Paul Rudd, the Ant-Man in the Marvel movies. Michio Kaku, who actually brought these results to us, says that Marvel can use this in their movies to make their movies even more cool to watch, actually. So, yeah, that's fine. Quantum computers are actually based on the idea that the fabrication process of a normal computer or the normal computer processor is getting so low that like currently currently IBM has created a processor that can that can run so fast, and the fabrication process is 3 nanometer, and so now we are approaching to the brink of like fabrication process, or you can say we are now approaching the limit, and that is why quantum computers are here. Because even though if your architecture is so good, it can run so many things, and then you have approached like such a small fabrication process so powerful, but it is still not that powerful to harness the full power of the thing that you want to do. It might take several days. So here comes quantum computers. So quantum computers actually don't work in the normal Newtonian physics like you are like the why they harness so much power. So let's talk about here like the RSA algorithm. RSA algorithm is actually an algorithm made by actually three people. So RSA algorithm was actually originally made by Ron Rivest, Adi Samir, and Leonard Edelman. So you can guess that they all took their last names, shorten it up, dotted it up, and put it in their name, like put it in this thing. So if you don't know what RSA algorithm, let me get you there. In RSA algorithm, the sender and the receiver exchange their public keys and keep private keys a secret. So now the sender can encrypt the message by signing the message with the receiver's public key, and the receiver can decrypt it with its own private key. And this is like same done by receiver to send something to sender. And usually this includes hefty big prime numbers, so thus at least even it's secure now. Even at least the most powerful computer, that is the AMD EPYC with 32 cores and 64 threads, it's not like fast enough to crack any RSA, like this RSA algorithm. And thus it's actually so awesome because those prime numbers are so big, and to get those prime numbers by their like the big number that from the product is very time consuming. And you guess right, it's that yes, till now everyone uses RSA algorithm to do a lot of stuff. Basically, if it can like do such a big operation within few minutes, if quantum computers can make RSA algorithm within few minutes, then actually it can do DNA analysis very quickly and very easily. And as now the sources are given in the description, you can check them out. And this is actually said on the basis that sometimes because sometimes there are very different like variants, and to like analyze how many variants there can be, quantum computers can be very useful because qubits can be either 0 or 1 at the same time, or it can be even the value can be even between 0 and 1. Like in binary computers, it can be between, like it can be either 0 or 1. In quantum computers, it can be between 0 and 1. So it can be 0.1, 0.2. It's all like probability, just like we do in mathematics. Probability. Well, it has been a lot of like pros here. So let's go with some cons in our system. And with cons, I say actual cons and not any stupid cons. So, like, first case study is the Chinese youth case study. So the world knows about China. We know them for the coronavirus that they have accidentally spread across the whole world because of that one person who ate the bat. Okay, fine. Another thing that we know about China is it's a major hub for technology. It also has it's like cheap labor, so it makes it a very good place for MNCs. But what if the day you are praising comes and cripples your culture for your youth? And this is the same case happening with China right now. Or you can say it was happening and it has been increased to a lot less level. So here's a Chinese case study. The sources are given in the description. This time it's a video from YouTube by Cold Fusion. So it's actually a video on how the Chinese language broke the QWERTY keyboard that we use in our daily life. The internet was made on the idea that the internet is for everyone, and so it's and that's why it should have support for every language that we use. Like I normally speak in Bengali, Hindi and English, so I should always get content based on this, because I won't understand Spanish, I won't understand Dutch. So that is why people thought that it would be a very great idea if we could add Chinese to that language basis, because at that time UTF-8 and other like encoding schemes didn't have Chinese in them. So like many languages were very easily incorporated, like German, Dutch, Russian, French, and etc. When it came to Chinese, it just broke it. It broke the thing that we use today and we take for granted, the QWERTY keyboard that we type today on our soft keyboards or your hard keyboards. So if we check here, the actual case, the main problem was Chinese is a character-based language, and for that every word has its own character. So it makes actually theoretically it's possible, but in reality it's quite impossible to fit every word on its screen, because it was an era of touch screen devices. And so it was a very big problem for a lot of time. So Chinese users had to use like translators, and that was still it is quite inefficient. So actually we should thank a person called Zhou Yuguang. He actually got a very good solution to this problem. Now just the way we like pronounce, if there's a word called like tablet, what we spell out tablet, and we take it and we say that tablet. But that's different in Chinese, because in Chinese you use a separate character for that word, and for every new word added there's a new character added, and that's the main problem. So how he made this problem go away with his own solution, that is, we are gonna use English, but not the way you think. We are gonna use English to speak Chinese. How? We are gonna use English characters to pronounce Chinese words, and the autocorrect system on your device would automatically tell that, do you want to use this character or this character? Do you mean this or this? And that was a pretty good solution to this problem. But after few years we came to another problem because of this solution, that is, youth was forgetting how to write. They were forgetting how to draw the characters properly. Like today our muscles are trained how to draw A, and thus now we can write and read properly. But the youth there was only able to read because of the emerging use of these tablets. But thanks to Apple, when they made the first touch-based smartphone, and that is why today now the Chinese people can actually draw on their screens to type out the characters they want, and thus this problem is solved till the extent. But it's still a problem in China, because there are many professional users who find the earlier traditional way of typing very useful, because it's actually very fast. You just simply spell out or pronounce out a word there, and it will automatically autocorrect it for you. And that's why it's still the one that power users use, and it's so fast. And this is where the tech sometimes breaks your culture and also sometimes breaks you. This is another case study for this tech and the hazards of this tech. That is the case study of fake news. The sources are given in the description. Again, this time it's an article from moneycontrol.com. The article is actually based on fake news. According to the article, by the way, have you ever heard this, that the passing of Citizenship Amendment Bill both in the Houses of Parliament has given rise to protests across the country? You have heard this. While demonstrations were organized in Mumbai, a photo showing massive crowds did the rounds on social media. According to those who shared it, the crowd had turned on for demonstration against the CAB in Mumbai out. But however, it was a fake news. It was found that the picture was taken from a Eid process in Bangladesh, and it was totally edited. Yeah, the text was edited there. And since the photo was very easy to edit, so today we have a very fake news here. And this is a very major problem in today's world. You can find these instances by surfing through the internet, and not to mention that, yeah, it actually made some riots actually there. It had some problems. So also Delhi, we remember what happened there, so, which we are all familiar with. Okay, so usually the power of social media is abused by for these things, for someone's own benefit. Like if CAB was like, if it didn't came, then there was a benefit to many people. I don't know who it was, but yeah, it was, because I didn't dive too deep in this case. But yeah, you get it, about fake news. Similarly, other things are still being abused. If you check the article, you can find a lot of them, a lot of fake news that were published for someone's own good. So now it's actually the time for the conclusion for this video. That is, according to me, the tech world is about a revolution to our world, thinking in a bright way. But we use it, or like misuse it, or like just abuse it, or decrease our productivity with it, then we should maybe need a tutorial how to use this tech properly. I recommend that there should be a line between that what we should use the tech for every day, and what's the modern thing is capable of doing to entertain us, or to like cause harm, and etc. And yeah, with great powers come great responsibility, said by Uncle Ben in the Marvel comics in Spider-Man. And I'm gonna repeat that again seamlessly. So this was my case study on this topic, which was suggested by our beloved sir, Rahul sir. So huge shout out to him, because yeah, thank you sir for suggesting this topic, and this is such an amazing topic. So until then, goodbye. Make sure you like this video, subscribe to my channel, and share this video to everyone whom you like find, for whom this video can be very useful. Yeah, it can be sometimes. So thank you for watching. Good night, because it's a debatable night.